Welcome back, I'm Holly and you're watching Kalkine TV live from Sydney. This is the stocks in action. First, let's have a look at the ASX 200 and the ASX listed stocks that are trending today. The S&P ASX 200 is up today, gaining 20.60 points or 0.28%, with top performing stocks in this index Endeavour Group, which is up 7.64%, and Chalice Mining up 6.02%. The index has lost 0.99% for the last 5 days, but sits 1.49% below its 52-week high. 6 of 11 sectors are higher, along with the S&P ASX 200 index. Materials is the best performing sector, gaining 0.91% and 2.15% for the past 5 days. On Thursday, the Australian benchmark index closed the session at 0.32% or 23.2 points lower, dragged down by banking shares and heavyweights such as Woolworths Group Limited, as the country's most populous state witnessed a double-digit surge in COVID-19 cases. On that note, let's quickly glance through some significant market movements globally. The S&P 500 was up 0.58%, while the Dow Jones gained 0.95%. The Nasdaq Composite rose 0.69%, and the small cap Russell 2000 was up 1.31%. 9 of the 11 critical sectors on the S&P 500 saw solid gains, led by financials and industrials. The construction stocks, along with blue chip S&P 500 and Nasdaq, closed at an all-time high on Thursday, after markets responded positively to the news of Biden's $1 trillion infrastructure deal and continued recovery of the U.S. labor market, critical to the government's jobs plan. On Thursday, a fresh round of monetary stimulus of hundreds of millions of dollars of infrastructure projects was announced. Democratic and Republican members have been negotiating the bill for the past 2 months, as Biden intends to spend $1 trillion on repairing and building bridges, roads, and other infrastructure. The Labor Department said that jobless benefit claims dropped to 411,000 in the week ending the 19th of June from the prior week's 418,000. The claims have been declining over the past month. And onto commodities. On Thursday, Chinese coke futures surged to the highest level in 6 weeks, rising nearly 4% after the spot market prices rose as well. According to media reports, coking coal prices continued to rise in the CFR China market on Thursday, breaking the $300 per ton mark after hitting a 5-year high amid bullish market sentiment caused by supply tightness in domestic coking coal. Chinese regulators have shut more coal mines amid rising concern over industrial accidents, as prices continue to rise for the fuel that provides half the country's energy. The mining halts are suppressing domestic output, even as strong industrial activity and high temperatures boost demand. China's unofficial ban on Australian coal and resilient steel production in China also contributed to the commodities price increase. And the global commodities market also witnessed mining giant Vale and China's Baowu planning to invest in Indonesia's nickel project. China's state-owned iron and steel company, Baowu Brazilian multinational, Vale SA, and Shandong Jinhai Technology combined plans to invest in Indonesia's nickel pig iron project. China's second-largest stainless steel producer, Taigang Iron and Steel, a subsidiary of Baowu, inked a framework agreement with NPI maker Jinhai and PT Vale Indonesia to operate Morowali's Bahodu P nickel processing facility located in Sulawesi. Vale will hold 49% interest in the project, while Jinhai and Baowu will split the remaining 51%. Indonesia is the biggest producer of nickel in the world. The country has already attracted various Chinese miners to invest billions of dollars. The country also plans to restrict its nickel pig iron smelter construction to optimize the use of its higher value products, ministry personnel said on Thursday. And lastly, on the global development front, let's have a look at the next piece of news. Crude oil prices surged to 3-year highs on Thursday amid strong energy demand and a fall in U.S. inventories. August delivery Brent crude oil futures traded 0.08% up, and WTI crude oil futures for August delivery was up 0.15% as of the 25th of June. Data from Germany showed the largest jump in retail conditions in more than 3 decades, raising expectations for fuel demand recovery. The US crude oil inventories tumbled to their lowest level since March last year, along with a significant fall in gasoline stocks as well. The arrival of the 2015 US-Iran deal is expecting a further delay of months, boosting positive sentiments for crude oil prices. Brent has gained more than 45% in 2021 on recovering demand and significant production cuts by OPEC and its allies. Well, on that note, it is time for a quick break, but stay watching as I'll be back with more trending updates.
Crypto talk by Kalkine. The crypto market has been red hot given the Bitcoin rally since the past year. And now the most famous cryptocurrency has got competitors, Dogecoin and Ethereum. If the crypto market excites you, tune in with me, Sage, to know the latest developments about the existing digital currencies and the new ones that are joining the race. I'll help you understand the opportunities and the risks the crypto market has in store for you. For all the digital currency related developments, continue watching Crypto Talk by Kalkine.
And welcome back. You're watching Kalkine TV live from Sydney. This is the stocks in action. Let's have a look now at a few recent updates from the ASX listed companies. Starting with the shares of property investment and funds management firm Charter Hall Group. They were up after it had provided an update on property revaluations and the resultant impact on the group funds under management. The group's FUM platform will generate gross valuation increases of $3.3 billion, resulting in group FUM rising to around $52 billion as of the 30th of June. Group FUM has risen to $12 billion over the course of this year, providing 28% of growth in the FUM and company shared. And CHC will post its financial year 2021 results on the 23rd of August. Shares of diamond producer Lukapa Diamond Company were up today after announcing that the 7 big high-grade and fancy-colored diamonds discovered in 2021, weighing 620 carats from the Lulo alluvial mine, were offered for sale via tender organized in Sodium in Luanda. The 7 Lulo diamonds brought a total sales price of $21.4 million US, indicating an average price of $34,548 per carat. The values achieved for the Lulo diamonds illustrate the solid diamond market post-pandemic in 2020, where rough diamond prices have continued to strengthen on the back of low rough supplies and returning consumer demand. The company shared via the ASX announcement. The sales brings total sales for 6 months to date at $38.8 US million. That is around 50.6 Australian. At an average price of $3,275 US, that equates to $4,272 per carat in Australian dollars, cementing Lulo's position as the highest price alluvial production globally. And the next news covers the semiconductor memory technology developer Weebit Nano. The share price of Weebit Nano Limited soared more than 10% during mid-morning over a business update. The company shared that it has developed the industry's first ever commercial assimilation of an oxide-based ReRAM cell with an ovonic threshold switching selector. This is an important stage in the company's path towards commercialization in the standalone memory market. As per the ASX announcement, this achievement is a crucial one towards broadening Weebit's target market beyond embedded non-volatile memory. Weebit also mentioned that the company and its development partner, CEA-Leti, have achieved this milestone in 3 months ahead of Weebit's earlier declared schedule. Well, on that note, it is time for another quick break, but stay with us as I'll be back with more trending updates.
Property by Kalkine. Looking for a dream home? Well, that may sound easy, but it isn't. And from looking for a property that is the right fit for you in terms of cost and other factors, to zeroing down on the right mortgage plan, there are various aspects to consider. And for the latest lowdown on the property market, tune in on Kalkine TV with me, Sage. I will give the latest updates on the property market as well as real estate stocks to help you make the right decision. Keep watching Property with Kalkine.
Welcome back, I'm Holly and you're watching Kalkine TV live from Sydney. This is the stocks in action. We were discussing the ASX 200 listed companies before the break that are in the news today because of the announcements that have been made on exchange. Mining is next up, and lithium producer Pilbara Minerals was trading higher this morning after reporting that it had taken further significant steps towards growing spodumene concentrate production at its 100% owned Pilgangoora project located in WA. After securing the board's approval of the staged restart of the plant, it is anticipated that these operations will restart during the December quarter of this year. Also, it is expected that annual production will be ramped up by mid-2022. As per the ASX announcement, the restart will expand production capacity, increase the scale of operations, and provide production flexibility as the company looks to satisfy the rapidly growing market demand. An estimated restart cost is around $39 million. The next news covers salmon producer Huon Aquaculture Group, which is trading 7.1% higher during the morning trading session, hitting its highest since the 1st of February. The salmon producer stated its strategic review, which kicked off in February due to unsolicited approaches, remains ongoing. HUO said it is currently facilitating due diligence selected interest parties in order to explore whether a transaction is possible. And gold explorer Nagambi Resources Limited climbs more than 14% on permanent application for a gold toll treatment plant. The Gold Explorer said the company and Golden Camel Mining have applied for a planning permit to construct and operate a 180,000 tonne per annum gold toll treatment plant at the Nagambi mine in the state of Victoria. The company's application is in response to a local tender. And that is just about all for now. Thank you for joining us, but stay tuned and we'll be back with more on Kalkine TV. Holly Shields signing off.